What do you reckon, boss?
Hey, here we are. Finally decided that I wasn't going to bother with the Falls videos no more because they're fucking shit house. So we're back in the shed. We are back in the shed and it is a fucking mess. There's an absolute pigsty at the moment. Got the whippersnipper on the floor. I was doing whippersnipping there the other weekend. Got a couple of new lights, as you can see, nice and bright, so got better lightage. Today we are going to do a little changeover, a little bit of tinkering with the lawn mower, with the mud mower. I have bought here some copper pipe with some brass fittings. And what we're going to do is we're going to change over. When I put an oil pressure gauge on the lawn mower, there it is, oil pressure gauge, hooked up. As you can see, I'm not sure if I did a fucking video on it, because when we hooked this up we were all pissed. But someone told me not to use this plastic stuff because it goes brittle and can break. So I went and bought a conversion kit, which is the copper wire. And yeah, so there's the fitting there. I've got to change some shit around because I have a slight feeling that my fittings are not quite going to work from the brass ones to this one, but we might be right judging by the look at that. So I might not have to braze anything if I'm lucky. So we've got to run it up through here, little hole I put, and obviously because it's copper I can run it a lot better and make it look a lot nicer. But judging by the size of that grub screw there, so if I pull that cunt there out, that's too big. That would be for an actual proper motor. Got a couple of different ones. This one here actually looks like it might fit. Oh, we're going to be laughing. Look at that. Oh, I'm not even going to have to modify anything. That's awesome. Will this fit? That's shit. Doesn't fit. So what we'll do is I'll pull that off, get that pipe and that hose taken out, because I don't think you guys want to sit around watching me fuck about. But also, here we have uncovered a Borg Warner LSD diff housing, diff center. I'm not sure if it's Borg Warner. Let's have a look. I can't really see. But it's an LSD diff center for the glorious, very perfect over there. So there's pinion. I mean, all the gears seem alright. I've got to take them into work and rebuild it. Right, first thing you want to do, I can't really see what I'm doing, is grab the biggest fucking shifter you've got. Hang on, let me turn this around. Here. Grab the biggest shifter you physically have. Just nip that. Don't nip it, but undo it. Pull that out there like that. And that's done some weird shit. Leave that. Fuck that off out of the way. Now we want to pull this off. Like so. Now it shouldn't be too tight, but it's firm. This is why we use the biggest shit we can, for no real apparent reason. So that's threaded in there alright, even though, as you can tell, if the camera's going to focus, you can't really see it, but the thread is the same, but you can tell it's been made cheaply due to the fact that the threads aren't nice and, you know, they're really flat, as if they could have been machined a lot more. You're not really going to be able to tell the difference. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. You can kind of see the threads are a bit better. Anyway, you're just going to have to take my word for it. As we can tell with these, oh shit, it's all zoomed in. The threads match. The threads match, so that's all that we need to worry about. Put that aside. We might need it for another day. Thread. Oh, that doesn't feel right in there, does it? Thread that in there. Ah, it's going to be shit fight, isn't it? Just work it nice and easy. That does not feel good at all. But we're just going to keep feeding it in there. Now, the reason why I'm grabbing the shifter so high up the head is because it makes it harder to turn the shifter. Now that's pretty shit looking, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as I'm aware, it's not going to go anywhere. And you also want to make sure that the threads are the same, of which they are. Ta-da! So, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to straighten this copper line. Oh, that's going to be a cunt. Oh, I didn't realise that. This little natty boy may not fit through the hole we drilled for the plastic line. So, we might have to get now, this hole is going to have to be bored out. We might try and file it out. Just bend that out of your way. Just file that out until the right size diameter is achieved. With the correct file, you can get a nice sized hole like that. Now, where's I put the coil? Now we've got to try and get that hole. No, we've got a little bit more to go. Doesn't quite fit in the hole. So I'll sort that out, run this line, and then I'll get back to you. Righto. So I've got my copper line. What I've done is the coil that it's come in, it's a pretty tight coil. So instead of just trying to pull it all apart, what I've done is just grabbed each coil and just pull them apart like that to get them spaced away from each other. And then what you want to do is you just want to roll your fingers over it like so and just sort of straighten it nice and gently. You don't want to go too far. There's fucking $30 something in this. Bit of a rip off. Probably could have bought the shit myself, but it comes with all the fittings as you need them. So obviously I'm trying to do two things at once here. Just kink it with your fingers like so. Yeah, like that, I suppose. And then just sort of unroll them. You can unroll it like that. Just grab it and just twist it. Like that, see? Just unrolls the entire thing. Like so. We're going to need to keep a coil or two in it, because obviously this is meant for a car, not a fucking lawnmower. So we've got a lot more than we need. You can run your fingers up along it like that, and that'll get it pretty real straight. Work out a couple of little kinky jiggers, little kinky boys. Try and get that as straight as you possibly can. Righto. Try and fucking put it in, I suppose. Righto, so I'm going to fucking set the camera up so I can somewhat see what's going on from both the camera and this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the long end through. Maybe not. I'm going to run by there somewhere. That's it, through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to the back of the bucket. We're going to attach it to the back of the bucket, the pressure gauge. Bend that down again, run it through there. Oh, well, actually just over your head, just run it like this. Screw it in and up. Make sure your gauge is the right way around too. I'm going to do that up tight. So that's something like 40 psi runs in this system, so we want to make sure we've got that cracked off nice and firm. So and what I plan on doing is I want to try and run this like down here somewhere. To like here. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, hang on, I've got a better idea. Here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to run this down here to here. And we're going to run that along the throttle cable. Like so. I'm going to leave the coil, I'm going to pack it up nice and tight again. Oh shit, fuck me. I need someone to film for me. Pack that down through there, which is not going to happen, so it's compress, like so. Feed it down there. That's awesome. And that's somewhat run. But that'll keep that relatively where it needs to be. Now what we've got to do is we've got to roll this back up again. Like so. Keeping it all fucking coiled up. Undo this one here. Feed him into the fit he's supposed to be in. Once you get squared up, there we go. So there's the throttle. We've still got a bit of give on here, which is fine. Awesome. Right, well, that's that done. I'll probably cable tie that down to there, maybe, depending on how generous I feel. But for the most part, let's see how much oil pressure she's got. So all the way up and a bit further is choke. Been a while. Here we go. Come on, darling. She's been sitting for a while, the old girl. The reason why it was taking so long to build oil pressure up is because the engine's fucked. No, I'm joking. It's because the system's got air in it, and I'm not going to bother trying to bleed it. I should, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so there she is bopping in the. She hasn't run for a while. It's got no exhaust, in case you can't tell, because we haven't put the front axle in it yet. There you go. Straight out of the fucking head. You. Look at that. Fucking mint. Yeah, we've got no oil leaks. So there's no oil leaks in there. And the back of the gauge isn't leaking any oil either. So as far as I'm concerned, guys, that's a fucking good success. At the most part, I think I'm going to need to put a fuel filter on it. Righto, guys. That's been a little short video for today. I'll start fucking. I've got the front axles in the making, so the front axle's going to be going. She'll be a good thing very, very, very soon. Wire this line in, do some other stupid shit, and she'll be fucking good to go. She'll be good to go. Fucking hell, I have a headache from listening to that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Just a little fucking shitty video on how to upgrade the shitty plastic line on the oil pressure gauge with the brass ones. Brass and copper. Alright. Peace out.
If they catch you, then you hit and you dying the same day. If they catch me, then I'm hitting, I'm dying the same way. Yo, I practice what I'm preaching, I bought me an AK.